So that young man, he didn't deserve to get ridiculed and booed the way that he did.
And we almost didn't make the playoffs.
Right.
Like let's not forget that we lost to Cleveland, who only won 3 games this year.
We get to the playoffs, and everybody in the country knows we're going to get our ass beat.
Welcome to DWI, Steelers segment, where we are your hosts. That's Dude, that's Wax, I'm Illy, and we are DWI. Fellas, lot to get into. Whole lot to unpack. But before we do any of that, we're going to need them to do 3 things, Wax.
What's that?
And that's like, share, and subscribe. And Dude, I think you got something to add on to that.
Yeah, make sure y'all get in that comment section for us.
No doubt. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. Well, fellas, here we are. Postseason. Now, I'm not going to sit up here and say that y'all didn't say it because we all had our wishful thinking as far as the season was concerned. But this goes to add on to you guys' apprehensive feelings that you guys have had the whole time. So, Wax, I'm going to ask you first. How you feeling postseason? No playoff wins to this point. How you feeling about the organization right now?
To be honest, man, I feel like I told you so.
Right.
I am that type of person. You know what I mean? Most people be like, I ain't that type of person, but I hate to say I don't hate to tell y'all.
Right.
You know what I mean? I told you so. You know what I mean? First game of the playoffs, and we get bounced out. What was it? 31-6, something like that.
It was bad.
Yeah. No touchdowns. We didn't sniff the end zone. So that's how I feel. Like I told y'all so.
How about you, dude? How you feeling about the organization right now?
About the organization, as far
As a
as
whole, like the team, the gameplay, the season, and then
as far as the season went, it was business as usual. You know, same thing we've been going through for a while. Get to the playoffs, fight to get to the playoffs just to get beat. You know, like, and that stuff is getting old. So as far as the season, it's just, it was business as usual. Basically what Wax said, kind of had a feeling this was going to happen all along. I started sipping the Kool-Aid a little bit after that Detroit game and after, a couple of those big games that we had. But then the Cleveland game kind of brought everybody back down to earth. Baltimore game kind of got lucky a little bit, but when it came to that last game, it was just like, yeah, this is probably where we were always destined to be at this point. So, there was ups and downs in the season, but I feel like it just ended the way it was supposed to. You know what I mean? The way that it was destined to.
right. Now, me personally, I feel, kind of baffled at this point. Not baffled in a way to where I'm naive to the fact, but baffled the way that it ended because I seen something different. I seen a whole different game and a whole different outcome other than what the heck just happened. I almost feel like it's like unbelievable. I counted on a lot of those games to be wins, especially that Cleveland game you're talking about. But then the reality of it is that we're right where we were at a year ago. 1 game removed from the playoffs. I don't know, man. I'm lost for words, man. I mean, this is a disappointing feeling. Every year you have to feel like, my team could have been there, but there was a bunch of plays that we missed on. Our offense did fantastic up until that point, so, our defense gave up a lot of touchdowns. It didn't look like they were the better team. It just looked like that team was hungrier than us because we kept with them the whole first half. That game was 7-6?
For the most part. Yeah. But the wild part about that, even though it was 7-6, I still had that whole feeling like we're not, if they weren't trying to give us the ball, like we had nothing for them offensively. So even though we were only down 7-6 to me, right. It could have been 70-6.
It was just the fact that we were within the 30. We were knocking on their door in the 30-yard line both times that Straub fumbled that ball, and we couldn't punch it in.
Nope.
That's the part that bothered me. I'm like, why can't we get a doggone touchdown with DK being back, I felt like that game was going to go a whole totally different way. So, like, right now, I believe I'm still in the first round of the playoffs. I haven't come to the realization that we're out of it. You know, I'm not going to run from it and do a satellite episode. But on top of that, I'm not going to run from my problems either. You know, we came into it, all cylinders going, fellas, and we're going to talk about it. It's crazy how, you know, one or two mishaps can have you right back to square one. Now, I will say this. I felt like we was going to beat that team just based off the fact that who was hungrier. You know, I felt like Coach Tomlin had something to prove. I felt Aaron Rodgers, this being his last year, he wanted to go out with a bang. So I actually, you know, I believe the hype. I ain't even going front for the simple fact that everything was starting to fall into to place. So, like, hey, I'm a sucker for a good ending.
Yeah. On the other hand, you and Dude started drinking the Kool-Aid a little bit. I was so used to being let down, I refused to feed into it. You know what I mean? And, like, even though I was rooting for us to win and I wanted us to win, I kind of had a feeling that, you know, we could put up a good game, a good fight, but, like, it was going to be the same results, even if we would have went past the first round.
No, I get it. I get it.
So I just felt like we didn't have what it takes to get to the Super Bowl this year.
Right.
You felt like either way, if this, you know, this may be our last game, win or lose, you know what I mean? Like, if we was to beat that team, the next team we would have played would have been the Patriots.
Yeah.
So you feel like the Patriots would have gave us a run
Or
for
whoever. Or whoever. Any stronger team in the playoffs would have beat us.
I got you.
Right. We were clearly the weakest team in the playoffs this year. Just by way the offense played, like they just
lackluster.
We didn't have enough, and I think DK missing that pass kind of took the air out of the team,
right?
And kind of took the air out of the sails. Not that we had much air, but like when you're in a situation like that, you can't afford we had no margin for error, and once one error happened, it kind of it snowballed. So
right,
but you know. That's the past, you know what I'm saying? And we had a lot of big news right after that, which surprised me. Mike Tomlin decided to step down.
Right.
What's y'all's thoughts on Coach T in general, not just him stepping down, but like what's your thoughts on Coach T's tenure as a whole?
I think he saw the writing on the wall like the rest of us. Well, you know, some of us did. You know what I mean? Because, like, I think Rooney didn't know either until he went into his office and told him it was his last year. It's not like he got fired or anything.
Right.
But, like, I think he did the right thing. You know what I mean? Because, like, he knew another year of this wasn't going to, like, they would have been booing him the first loss of the next season.
Right.
You know, and I don't think he deserves that. You know what I mean? Because, like, needless to say, I think Tomlin is a great coach. He's just not a great coach for us, if that makes any sense.
Anymore.
Yeah, like, because I think he's done what he was going to do already.
I'm pissed, man. I ain't even gonna lie, Wax.
Yeah.
I'm pissed because I feel like this is the thanks I get. You know, Coach Tomlin did an amazing job these last 19 years as a head coach, man. He's the winningest coach in the NFL by far. He's a tenured coach, and I felt like it was the effort of the players that had this happen as far as the outcome we got leading into this postseason. I'm mad about that, man. Coach Tomlin didn't deserve that. And then us as fans, man, we're so fair weather, man. We're so instant popcorn microwave that we want it now, man. We want the whole kit and caboodle right now, right here. And if we don't start showing the world who we are, then, you know, we're nobodies. And that's the way that we think here at Pittsburgh, man. I mean, we're very aggressive people. And I'm not going to speak on behalf of everybody, but I'm speaking on just the people that I can associate that with. And why do I associate it with them? Because they're ready to see instant results now. Like, it just happens that fast. Like, you can build a team and win the Super Bowl that fast, back to back to back. Andy Reid and the damn coach from Philly is the only ones that I know that had the ability to do that. A guy got fired this year who took his team to just as many Super Bowls as Coach Tomlin. And that's down there in Baltimore. Coach Harbaugh was a good coach. And he gets fired because of the season that they had, opposed to what happened. Like, I don't feel like coaches get enough credit. I've done it on every aspect. I've coached, I've played the game, and I've watched as a spectator. And if a team is out there playing subpar, I feel like if you're unprepared, if you're 6 or 7 steps behind a receiver on defense, or if your offense isn't catching fire that fast, that's the coach. But if you have plays that are working and there's no execution going on, that's the damn players, man. So I feel like Coach Tomlin got an unfair shake on this one, and I feel like, this is getting ready to create a lot of chaos, man. It's getting ready to make us look real crazy because y'all always said we need a change. More than him, but at the same time, I respect y'all's right to say that. I just feel like if we get a change, who is it going to be and how is he going to help us? So I just feel like this isn't the time to dismantle the doggone, Pittsburgh Steelers starting at the head.
All right, now, as far as Coach T, I want to say, shout out to Coach T for 19 years of service. You represented the city. You represented black folks, classy, very well. We'll never forget that. When Mike Tomlin first got here, we were in our 20s. We were still kids. So we kind of grew up with Coach Tomlin being the face of the organization. But I do think it was time. Over the last, 10 years, we really haven't been competitive. So I can say, sometimes things run their course. And I think that was the case for Coach T. You say the players, but I feel like he's part of the reason that he handpicked a lot of these players. So, but even still, I still want to give Coach T his flowers. But I think it was just time. I think it was better for both parties. He decided to step away. I think Art Rooney II said he was willing to bring him on for another year. But Coach T just figured, like Wax said, they probably would have got booed really early in the season. It would have been an ongoing thing because the fans feel the way the fans feel. And honestly, the way I feel is if you pay $500, probably what you're paying for tickets, it's not going to cost you anything less than $400, $500, $600. You got the right to do what you want. If it's within reason, if you're not saying racial stuff or if you're not throwing stuff, you got a right to say how you feel because you paid your ticket. You pay these salaries basically. You have the right to say what you want. And the fans spoke, and Coach Tomlin listened. I'm excited for a new change. Whether it's going to be good or bad, we'll never know. We'll see how they do. We'll see who they hire or whatever. But as far as the change we need, I think we needed it, and that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. Or you get ready to say some
shit? Yeah. I was just gonna say I feel like Tomlin got enough glory to combat the hate that he's gotten the past few years. Like I feel like whenever he does something right, he gets put on a pedestal. But as soon as he does something wrong, y'all they call it what it is. You know what I mean? It's a coach that can't get past the first round of the playoffs.
Right.
So I mean, he gets love and hate at the same time, and that's what it is being a head coach.
That's what it is being human, bro.
Exactly.
I mean, I hope y'all know y'all's getting what you asked for.
Yeah.
Everybody that wants this change, I hope you're getting what you asked for.
But I'm just saying that because you said he didn't deserve it.
He didn't.
But I mean, you can't do both. Like either he deserved it or he didn't.
He didn't. I'm saying,
because just like you said, that's what it is to be human.
It is because you get love and hate. There's times where I was hoisted up on everybody's shoulders, being the hero, all while waiting to become the villain for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe because they didn't get their kid, a lot of playing time out there, or maybe because, the situation called for something different as far as a strategy standpoint. But now I'm getting ridiculed, And I watched myself become the villain.
Okay. Now,
So
let me ask you this.
Go ahead.
Does that come with the job?
It does come with
All
the
right.
job.
So why even touch on it? Because it's well deserved. When you win, that quiets all the rumblings of hate or people talking trash on your name. But if you keep losing every year the same way, I think he deserved a lot of that.
I thought the concept is winning to get past that hump. It's like everybody expects Rome to be built in a day.
I don't
Like,
think so.
do you know how long it takes to get a championship run together?
Yeah.
Because if everybody thought the same and they feel like it's in like 1 to 2 or even 5 years, they're mistaking themselves.
All right, but
we're on a dynasty. We're on a dynasty level, meaning the Steelers have had 1 Pete's, 2 Pete's.
Okay.
So I know we know how to win Super Bowls. It's not a matter of that. It's
All right.
a matter of creating that situation, and that's going to take a little bit of time.
Okay, and it's been a lot of time.
So-
This ain't 2-3 years. This has been. When was the last time we won a Super Bowl? 2008.
Yeah.
Something like that.
All right. So, and we're in 2026.
Okay.
So 18 years.
Sometimes it's like that.
No, it's never like that.
Okay, it's never like that. But the last time we won a Super Bowl before the one we won, before that, was 1979 or
Okay.
78, somewhere around there. 78 was a good year. That was my birth year. 79 of y'all's was. But I say that to say this. 78 to 2007, wasn't that the last, or sorry,
2005.
78 to, when did Coward win his?
2005.
78 to 2005. Count that for me, please, Wax.
Okay.
How many years is that?
That's over 20.
Okay.
All
So
right.
that championship run takes a little longer than people anticipate. We went from 1978, 79 to 2005, and then Tomlin hasn't been there since 2011 when we lost to Green Bay. So you do that math. It's only 2026. That was 15 years ago since we've been there. So that young man, he didn't deserve to get ridiculed and booed the way that he did.
Yes, he
I understand them booing because they want their team to win and they're passionate and they love the Steelers the way they do. And as Dude would say, monetarily, some people pay for these seats. I get it. But you get what you pay for. You can't predict the outcome of that. And if that was the case, everybody in the world would own seats and you'd have sold out games and nobody else would be able to get tickets because it'd be that jam-packed if you could predict the outcome.
I disagree. I don't.
Me too.
That was a nice rant. That was a really good rant, but I totally disagree.
You would disagree because you're
because-
so used to wanting change
No,
right
because
away.
I'm living in today.
I'm
living,
not?
I don't think so.
How
I
not?
don't
Just
think
because
so.
I brought up statistics that make those runs exist?
No,
all I'm saying,
no, because you're
all I'm
contradicting
saying,
yourself.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
Okay,
you're
listen.
contradicting yourself.
Listen.
You had a good point with the 20-year in between, even though we went through 2 coaches to do that.
No, we didn't.
Yes, we
went
did.
through one.
We had a different
Okay,
coach.
Chuck Nolan.
All right.
You're right. My
All
bad.
right.
My bad.
So, but like the last 20 years, we should have went to the Super Bowl at least 4 times.
We went once, and that was within 15 years. So
We went once, and the last one we went to, we didn't even win.
Okay, but we
And we
went
had-
there. Isn't
and-
that
and-
what it's all about?
No, it's not.
Y'all are sitting up here complaining about
No.
getting to the Super Bowl
And winning that
So wait a
bad boy.
minute.
One
That's-
time. It's about it's about being able to compete for the Super Bowl.
Thank
We
you.
haven't even been in competition for it.
For how
since
long?
since like 2000 since the Killer Bees is over. We haven't even been, and we should have won more with the Killer Bees. Let's be honest. We didn't win nothing with the Killer Bees, and we should have. But we haven't even been in contention. Like, we get to the playoffs, and everybody in the country knows we're going to get our ass beat.
Last time we went postseason was 2018. You asked me to do my homework. I did my fucking homework. I'm talking about past the first round. So with that being said, 2018, if I'm about to say my math correctly, that's 8 years ago. So postseason, past the first round was 2018. My math is saying that we got a bunch of fans who want everything right now. They can't enjoy the process of it. And that's what I can't handle about it, man.
Here's the thing. There hasn't been a process.
Thank you.
It's been the same thing. They're not moving progressively to get better. They're just striving to maintain. Let's just make it to the playoffs. Let's just make it to the playoffs. That's it. There's no progression to get past that.
Can I ask you a question,
Let's
dude?
keep my record above 500 every year.
Can I ask him something, Wax, real quick?
Go ahead.
Matter of fact, I ain't asking him diddly squat, Wax, until they do 3 things.
And what's that?
That's like, share, and subscribe and do. I think you got something to add on to that.
Yeah, get in that comment section.
Definitely get in that comment section and let these cats know what it really is to be a fan.
Nah, don't do that.
I had
Don't
to.
do that.
I had to.
'Cause
He
I'm
ain't
a
gonna let it
fan
ride
too.
anyway.
Right.
I'm
He ain't
a
gonna let it
fan
ride.
too.
I'm just trying to keep the energy pissy, so whatever. Now back to where I was at. Yeah, okay. So this is what I wanted to ask you. When you build something and you tear it down to rebuild, does that stuff happen in a day?
No.
Sometimes weeks, months, maybe even years. Mm-hmm. So what I'm saying is, why can't it be us rebuilding to get to that next level happening right now? And everybody who wanted that coach, who's getting ready to get us that winning Super Bowl team, that caliber team that y'all two are talking about, that nobody has any clue on who it is, where's he at?
They're hired. They're
Looking for him now.
interviewing people right now.
Exactly.
That's just the natural order of things.
You know what?
Exactly.
No. The natural order is you get another job before you quit the first job.
That's not how it works.
That's
in the
normally
NFL.
how it works.
That's not how it works in the
So
NFL.
now they fired a coach.
They
and
didn't
then
fire.
go looking
They
for
didn't
the guy.
fire him. He
Well,
quit.
I think it was
So
a
be
little
mad
bit
at
more than
Coach
that.
T for
I
quitting.
think there's a little bit more than
If
that.
you
I don't
wanted
think
to-
he quit. I don't think he quit.
He stepped down, Phil.
Okay, Wax. If you
He stepped down.
Let's put this in human terms.
Okay.
You got children, right?
Yep.
You raise them for 18, 20 years, however old they are,
Mm-hmm.
and at the end of the day, they tell you didn't do nothing for them.
I know
How you
that
gonna
wouldn't
feel?
happen.
How you gonna feel?
I know that wouldn't happen.
How you gonna feel?
Listen, first and foremost, it's not what you've done, it's what you're doing now.
And
as
what
a
have
head
you
coach.
done lately?
As a head coach.
That's
Not
crazy.
a parent. Not a parent. Not a parent.
I'm just asking
as
a
a head
question,
coach.
bruh.
It's not what you've done, it's what you're doing right now. It's the same shit Janet Jackson was talking about.
What have you done for me lately?
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
that's
It don't work
that's-
like that, man.
That's
That's how it works with every
Exactly.
team.
Well, I guess that's how it's
Exactly.
going, man.
That's the name of the game.
So that's the new
and
norm.
he knew whenever he signed that contract that was going to come with it.
Right.
You can't get all the glory and not get the hate too. Like you said, he got fired. He didn't get fired. He stepped down.
I don't
because-
mean he got fired. Excuse me. I didn't even mean to interject because this is a situation where like he's getting railroaded in a sense. So it's like I put y'all onto that camaraderie winning shit, and this is the thanks that I get. Like, how dare y'all?
But he didn't put him on the winning
Thank
stuff.
you.
This is just that's the franchise.
But he made
like you
winning
said
the
earlier,
new norm,
that
man.
was the dynasty.
we were already winning.
Coach Coward wasn't winning like
Man,
this.
don't start acting like
Coach Coward had a bunch of losing seasons.
He had
man.
a couple of losing.
He had a
seasons.
bunch of them.
Coach Coward, they was ready to run Coach Coward out of town too. Let's not.
I remember
let's not
that.
pretend.
I remember
and
that.
You know why they were trying to get rid of him? Because he kept losing in the AFC Championship. That's the expectations of being a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. He kept losing in the AFC Championship, and we were mad that he wasn't going to the Super Bowl. Tomlin can't even get to the second round the last 8-9 years.
I forgot about that.
He couldn't even get to the second round. And like you were saying, the rebuild, if Tomlin would have committed to a rebuild himself, I was with that. I was with Tomlin staying here if he would have been able to commit to a rebuild. But they just kept trying to retread these old tires.
I got you.
And that's not a way to win. That's not a way to rebuild.
Go ahead, Wax.
Let's think about our first round picks that we've had in the last 10 years. Okay? Like, matter of fact, we won't even go 10 years just as yet. But, like, let's just talk about the guys we drafted last year. You know what I mean? Like, your boy, Roman Wilson, where was he at? Where was the running back at that we got? That he's supposed to be the lead running back, and he's playing third fiddle.
I get it. I mean, they probably wasn't ready to bet on him.
So, why aren't they ready?
I don't know. We're gonna have to find out
Listen.
from that new coach to be determined, Wax.
I'm saying. I mean, like, I'm not sitting here acting like this upcoming. upcoming season is going to be all hunky-dory.
It's not.
I know. But, like, I'm ready for a change, and that's what it's going to have to take. You have to destroy it to rebuild.
And I understand that, but this question goes to you both. How long we going to lose?
We don't know.
We start winning.
That's a good question.
Because if you look at the Patriots, they tore it to the ground, and look at them now.
Yeah.
3 years ago, they tore it to the ground. They hired a great coach in Mike Vrabel. They got their quarterback, and now look at them. I mean, they're in the AFC Championship.
Yep, they got 6 bowls like us. They got a dynasty just like we do.
And they're in the AFC Championship. And they're probably going to the Super Bowl because they're playing the Broncos, who just lost their starting quarterback. So they're on their way to the Super Bowl 3 years later after a rebuild, after it totally sold off the whole team and started over.
I got 2 things to say to that. First thing is, I hope you're right. Second thing is, can you break 100? Because I got 200 for you to go get a room with fucking Vrabel. Like, get off his fucking nuts.
Man, get out of here.
Listen,
that's just because that was a good point.
I was reaching
it was a
my
great
ass
point.
off, and I didn't get no reach points. Go ahead,
even with Vrabel, he was doing his thing in Tennessee for a little bit.
Right.
I'm not gonna say they won a Super Bowl, but they put up a good fight to get there. You know what I'm saying? They didn't give up as soon as we go down by 20.
Right. And here's the thing. I don't even want to necessarily blame Coach T for everything, because I'm going to give Art Rooney his share of the blame, because he's been asleep at the wheel. Organizationally, they should have been said, let's start this thing over. The players are getting too old. Let's not re-sign TJ to this giant contract. Let's kind of start this thing over and try to get our quarterback. But they refused to do that. And you can't ask Coach T to go out there and lose on purpose, because that's just not the type of dude that he is.
Right.
But at the same, go ahead.
I feel like he'd have been damned if he did, damned if he didn't. But only for the simple fact that if he would have went out there and lost all those games, get him out of there. We need a new coach. He sucks. Everybody and their mama would have been talking about how bad Coach Tomlin was from those rebuilding years. So to save face, he went on and did to Coach Tomlin things and won those games. And they still hate him.
Listen.
They still hate him.
He got into the playoffs, which is hard to do nowadays.
It's commendable, Wax.
But let me ask you this. What are we going to do at quarterback position under what the rebuild? Because
we got the young boy we drafted from Ohio State.
Who hasn't taken the snap all year.
He hasn't had a chance to.
Why is that?
Because we had Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, exactly.
So now that he's not going to be there, maybe this is going to be a part of the process.
And what did Aaron Rodgers do? This is what I'm saying.
Aaron Rodgers got us to the playoffs at 41.
I get it.
But you know where I'm going.
So we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that.
No. But what did that get us? It got us to the playoffs like we've been doing.
I understand.
Listen. This is what I'm saying.
Go ahead.
When I mean, Coach Tomlin never he never thinks about the future. Coach Tomlin, and to his credit, sometimes he's worried about the next game, this season that he's playing. He's not worried about 2 years from now. But in the NFL, you have to.
But that's contradicting what he said, because he just said, what have you done for me lately? So in a sense to where the world and the NFL thinks like that, he always has to think of the next play, the next down, the next game.
Exactly the opposite of what I was saying. Yes,
I understand what you're saying, but it falls under that same category,
it doesn't.
Wax.
It really doesn't.
Because I can't prepare for the future and deal with right now all at the same time.
Yes, you can.
That's
the point.
All right.
That is the absolute point.
Right. I'm winning the
You
games.
cannot just...
I'm keeping y'all off my back. Get off my back. That's all I'm saying.
They wasn't never off his back.
As I'm winning. Yeah, y'all was.
Because
when we won that game against Baltimore and Coach Tomlin looked at the screen and gave y'all one of these, y'all knew what it was. Y'all knew what it was. And everybody else shut the hell up. Everybody that was disbelieving him shut their mouth for a week.
That's not true.
Yeah, they did.
I
didn't hear nothing but praise. I watched every podcast from ours on up to Shannon, Uncle Shannon, all the way up to what's his name? Your boy.
Who?
That Steeler, the dude that covers the Steelers.
Chris Carter.
Yeah, I watched everybody.
But everybody
was giving us praise, man.
Yeah, because we won the game and we made the playoffs. But listen, the goal was not to make the playoffs this year.
I know, dude.
And we almost didn't make the playoffs.
Right.
Like let's not forget that we lost to Cleveland, who only won 3 games this year. You know what I mean? We struggled with them.
And got lucky, honestly.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he didn't do good enough a job for me, for my liking.
I understand.
You know what I
that,
mean?
And I respect
if you understand it, understand it.
What do you
fully.
mean? I don't have to agree with it.
I'm not saying
I understand
I'm not
it.
saying you have to agree, but understand what I'm saying.
I
man.
do,
Like,
but I can't live off of what you got going on. I live off of how I feel about the scenario.
But what all I'm saying is take that into consideration.
I
Phil.
do, bro.
Like, we didn't actually beat the Ravens. They beat themselves by missing the field goal. In the game before that, we lost to Cleveland.
I understand
with
that,
a
bro.
rookie quarterback.
But the team that's going to the championship, we beat, which is the Patriots.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm not going off of the wins and losses. I'm not that tedious. You can win and lose any game. This is football, bruh. I understand that concept. But
so what are you going off of?
Exactly.
You're not going
I'm
off
going
the wins
off.
and losses.
I am going off of it, and I'm going off the fact that we needed more pieces, and it just should have been a rebuild.
Right,
I wanted Coach Tomlin to go off into the sunset on his own terms, and like you said the other day, I guess he did.
Okay, so as far as let's get into this then, because the team that we built, and this is where me and you have a disconnect. I think Mike Tomlin has had a lot of control over the players that we got. I think he had probably 90% of the control over the players that we have on our team. So you're saying the players were terrible and didn't play their role. Well, who's in charge of getting those players? It's Coach T. So listen. When you're a head coach in the NFL, you got more than one responsibility.
I understand that,
especially when you're have as much control as I believe Mike Tomlin has. Your job is to get the players. Your job is to coach the players. And if the players aren't that good, that's your fault too.
Let me break it down like this, fellas. I'm a head coach. I hire you to take care of my offensive line. I hire you to take care of my defensive line. Mm-hmm. I'm blaming the position coaches and the players. Because by the time y'all get the Roonies.
No, they don't. Coach Tomlin is.
He
hires his staff.
Okay. I understand that, dude. I understand that. But he can't predict the outcome. And halfway through the season, as you're installing my offense, and I realize that you suck, I've already wasted 6 to 8 games.
Okay.
So I can't just fire you right now. All I'm saying is the position coaches have to have all of that stuff together by the time Wednesday hits. Wednesday, we're going out on the field and we're going to do team. Thursday, we do walkthrough. Friday, we rest. Saturday, we rest. Sunday's the game.
Right.
I'm blaming the players that were playing in the position that they were in and their position coach.
Okay, and like I said, who hires those people? So
Exactly.
Listen, if you got a restaurant and you hire a bad manager and he messes your restaurant up, do you get to blame the manager? But who's the staff going to blame?
I understand
They're
that
gonna blame
for
you
hiring that guy.
for
And guess
hiring
what?
that guy.
And guess what? Because at this point now, you're blaming the Roonies.
Yeah, I am. I am.
I was just sitting here thinking about all the people that Mike Tomlin hired as an offensive coordinator and a defensive coordinator, and half of them, I would say, as far as the majority of them, don't even coach anymore.
Piss poor. And that's
Don't even coach.
talent evaluation doesn't just stop at the players. It stops at the more important than the players.
I mean,
it's the staff.
That's a good point, Wax. But you can say that about any team. You can say that about any and every team.
But
like,
my
where's their
point
coordinator? Where's so and so? Like
my
that's
point
everybody.
being is that he hired people that he could boss around and tell them how to run the scheme.
But if you're hiring somebody, they automatically come in knowing that you're running a show. So he didn't have to exercise his right to be who he was. That's one thing you're failing to realize.
No, I'm not.
If you're giving
I'm
him
not.
all of that power, they automatically know coming into this situation that Tomlin's running the show. If that's the case.
Them knowing that, maybe why we wasn't getting the best.
Exactly.
Because he's meddling around in everybody's offense and
You
defense.
took the words right out of my mouth.
So
he's the one that's making them bad. He's going behind the cook.
He's getting in
He's
their
going
way.
behind. So you're saying he's going behind the cook and adding extra
No,
ingredients
he's
in there.
telling
That's what
them
you're saying.
to add extra
That's what y'all
ingredients.
say. Either way.
And he's like, this is pretty good. And
Either
everybody
way.
else is like, this moron just
Man, that's crazy.
put
that y'all
too much
even put
sugar
that
in
on
the,
it.
you know what I mean?
Y'all hear this? Y'all hear this?
This moron just added water to the mozzarellas, and now the stuff tastes worse.
Bruh, you're not going to sit up here and tell me that Coach Tomlin is
I'm-
here sabotaging himself.
I'm not saying he's sabotaging.
That's
Man,
what
he's
y'all
just
sound
not a
like.
good talent evaluator.
Yeah, exactly.
And he seemed like the type that just wanted to be the smartest guy in the room.
All right, I'm going to end it with this. Let him go to Baltimore. Let Coach Tomlin go to Baltimore. We're going to have a problem on our hands, Steelers.
Let him go. They'll
We
go to
gonna
the
have a
first
problem.
round and get beat like they usually do.
We'll see. I mean, at this point, he got a little different offense, a lot different defense as far as what he's going to be able to work with.
Listen, the reason why I think that he was meddling, especially in the offense, and everybody knows that the defense was basically his defense. Like, he was the defensive coordinator. But the offense, right, since the past 6 years, we've had three or four different offensive coordinators, and none of them will go over the middle.
So he's saying don't go over the middle?
Yes, it has to be.
Why? Why?
I
would you
don't
do that?
know.
When that's where
'Cause-
your biggest percentage of catching the ball.
Thank you.
But why
You're
would
proving
he say
my
that?
point.
Why would he say
Why
that?
would four offensive coordinators and Arthur Smith, everywhere else he's been, goes over the middle. When he comes here, he doesn't go over the middle anymore. Everybody else would not go over the middle. Why?
I don't know.
I don't know how you can get four different people to do the same thing unless you're telling them don't go over the middle.
All right.
And then you see the times we do go over the middle was when the quarterback, like Aaron Rodgers, would just do what he wanted to do, and then he finally decided, hey, Pat Fryermuth's a pretty good player. Let me give it to him in the fourth quarter a couple times and get us out of this jam. Other than that, we never went over the middle. So that, to me, it's not proof, but it's kind of like, all right, a light bulb goes over. It's like, okay, like, well, like, why aren't they doing that?
It's weird that y'all can see stuff that nobody else can see. For
Everybody
example,
else can see it.
No.
How long have we been talking about
What I'm
why aren't
saying,
we going over the middle?
What I'm saying is,
Years.
as far as the Steelers, needing to get rid of him because everybody in that locker room lost their wig when they realized Coach Tomlin was getting ready to leave.
Yes. Shout out Coach. Like Coach T, he's a player's coach. They love him.
Yeah, he's a motivator. But
So-
is he a leader of men? I don't think so.
I think he's a leader of men. He's just not an X's and O's guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? There's three aspects of being a great head coach. You got talent evaluation, you got X's and O's, and you got motivation. He had the motivation. I give him 10 out of 10 on motivating players. He never lost the locker room, but when it comes to X's and O's, I don't see it happening. Ever since the good coordinators that we had left, you see the digression of the entire of both sides of the ball. And talent evaluation speaks for itself. You said the players didn't play good.
Yeah.
And we're the highest paid defense in the league for the last couple of years.
But the last couple of years, the defense was the ones keeping us in the games.
I'm just saying. But, like, we still rank 25th in this category, 20th in this one. Like, we didn't put up the numbers to justify what we were paying these guys. Because if we did, we wouldn't have lost 30-6.
Right, and it's like if you're the number one, you might not be the number one defense, but at least you can be top 10.
Yeah.
At least we can be top 10. You know what I mean? But we were 25th, and last year we wasn't that much better. So I just feel like a change was needed, and I thought we had the players to be better. I really did. I didn't think our defense was set up to be bad.
Right.
But they just didn't like Patrick Queen I think he led the league in missed tackles.
He was killing us this year.
So all right, so let's get into, since Tomlin's gone, that's a done deal now.
Right.
Now it's time to move forward. We don't know who the coach is going to be, but as far as the roster, is there anybody that y'all would keep? Is there anybody y'all getting rid of next year to start a full rebuild, or would you just run it back with the same team and a new coach?
I'm getting rid of a couple guys. Mm-hmm. First guy on a chopping block, probably be Jono.
Yes, please get rid of him. I don't never want to see him in the Steelers jersey again.
We don't need him. He was an extra pickup for, like, you know, he's gonna be good somewhere else, I'm sure.
Maybe
somebody that needs a tight end.
Somebody that goes across the middle.
Yeah.
Right.
But anybody else? Who you think anybody else wax?
Valdez Scantling. I want him out of here. Like,
He was all right, though, and he's a tall presence.
He didn't do enough for me, man.
Yeah.
Like, especially when you're fighting to keep a job. Because where'd they sign him from? Like, free agency?
Or free agency.
So, he didn't even have a job. Like, and he didn't do enough, in my opinion, to keep him on the squad.
Right.
But I was thinking Jonnu, too. And then, what's his name? Ain't coming back. Adam Thielen retired.
Yeah. Rogers is probably gonna be gone.
Yeah, Rogers is probably gonna be gone. I got a whole list of people. You already know me. Cam is probably gonna retire too.
They just paid him.
No, I think Cam might be gone, but he might not be. He got a year, but like him and Tomlin was like attached at the hip, so I'm sure he's gonna evaluate and figure out what he wants to do. But as far as Jonnu, I'm getting rid of Jonnu. I'm probably cutting Jalen Ramsey. You know what I mean? To save some money on the cap.
Right.
Because I think he's $30 million on the cap next year. That's a lot of money.
What about Jones?
Broderick?
Yeah.
No, I probably wouldn't cut him, but I'm not re-signing him. I'm not picking up his fifth-year option. This is going to be his last year with us. So I would keep him for 1 year, but I'm gonna go. I would definitely go out and try to find another one or see what Dylan Cook got in him for another off season to see what he can do.
Right.
And this might shock everybody or it might hurt people's feelings.
TJ.
I'm trading TJ Watt. Period. I'm trading TJ. And I'm signing Herbig. Try to get some draft picks for next draft year and save some money for when if we do decide to get a quarterback, we'll be able to pay and we'll be able to spruce up the offense to put some of that TJ money towards the offense. So if we do get a young quarterback, he's not coming in there with a terrible team. You know what I mean? Where he can succeed.
You're crazy, bro.
Because I'm doing this.
I know why as a business move, but
and I'm doing it for TJ too. We ain't winning no championship with TJ here. We're not winning. Now that Tomlin's gone and the whole team is in disarray, I'm doing it for TJ too because I want TJ. He's been a dope ambassador for the Steelers. I want TJ to go somewhere and play for a winning team. Somebody that would want him. Somebody that maybe he's the last piece. So I would do that for TJ, but I would do it because it's time to start this thing over, man.
And if we're really starting it over, get Warren's little ass out of here. I want him out of there.
Nah, I'm not getting rid of Warren, and I'm probably signing Gainwell again.
Get him out of here. Warren's too small. He can go take that little short act on the road, maybe be something nice for the Jaguars or Cardinals. Get him out of here. And I ain't hating. I just...
Yes, you are.
No.
Yes, you are.
Warren's 10 times better than Harris.
That motherfucker gets 20 carries and 60 yards.
Listen,
fuck that. Get him out of here.
He's 10 times better than
I'm going to start it over. I'm going to start it over, and I mean
unless you got somebody that's going to replace him.
I want to get rid of Warren.
Okay. I disagree. I probably would keep Warren, but because he's
just too little, bro.
I mean, he's still solid, carries, but I would definitely
69 yards.
I would definitely try to find somebody bigger or a better running back, a quality running back to pair with him. Even though I think Gainwell, I would keep Gainwell too.
I'm keeping Gainwell, but I need Warren out of here.
You're keeping
If
Gainwell,
you're
and you think Gainwell's going to give you?
If we get another running back, yes, I do. He's fat. He's nicer than Warren out of the backfield catching, and he's a little bit bigger and better than Warren.
He's
man.
not
Warren,
bigger. He's not. He's smaller than Warren.
Like as far as size wise, like
That's
his
smaller.
built, but not height.
That means smaller.
not height.
Yeah, but he's
taller.
He's 30 pounds less than Warren.
No, he's not.
Come on,
no, he's not. He might even weigh more than him.
Nah, you just making up shit.
No,
man.
I'm not, man. Warren's just too little,
hating
man.
shit. This nigga hates Warren.
How many yards did he have this year?
I don't know. Let me see. I can look it up.
900.
I'd probably say about 760, 750, somewhere in there. I know he didn't break 800 yards. I'm not keeping that. I don't know what special attachment you got to him, Duve and Wax now. I don't know if Duve put his
He was the best offensive
voodoo
player
over
we
you.
had, honestly. He had 958.
Okay.
I mean, you used to cream yourself when
hell yeah.
Harris
Hell
got
yeah.
1,001
But
yards.
he can't even get 1,000.
He was 40 yards away from 1,000.
But it's not 1,000.
All right, so if he got 40 more yards, you still be hating on him.
No,
Because
Harris
would have 1,001, and you'd be like, he got 1,000 yards.
Bruh,
Somebody open the champagne.
Right.
Get the good dishware out.
Yeah, all right.
Get the crystal.
Bottom line is he's just too small, man.
He's not too small. He's thorough. I like Warren, man. I'd keep him. He has an engine on him, man.
Right. And Gainwell had 537 yards.
Yeah, with like 400 less carries.
And
So let's get to that.
He had almost 500 yards receiving.
But see, like, I'm still thinking about the quarterback situation, man.
Right.
Like we've been putting
Look
a
at those
Band-Aid.
attempts. He got over 100 more attempts. And Gainwell's getting more yards per carry. So let's get to that. And he got one less touchdown than him. Let's get to that. Get his little ass out of here, man. He's too little, man.
Listen, he is not too little.
He is, man. And I don't know.
And
what
if we're gonna do that, then Jalen gets 8.3 yards per reception, and he's better than Gainwell in receptions and got one less touchdown with 30 less receptions. So who's better out the backfield?
All I'm saying is Jalen Warren's too small.
From this, it sounds like
Jalen Warren's too
Warren's
small.
better.
I'm keeping Gainwell because he's just he fits the team a little bit more. Warren can go play somewhere in the Canadian League. He'd be real nice.
Oh, he ain't even in the NFL no more.
No, I'm saying.
That's where Harris should be playing.
Stop hating, man. That's a bad look, man. That's a bad look.
I ain't hate, man. I'm just calling it how I see it. If you're getting rid of T.J. Watt, I can't get rid of Warren.
I'm not getting rid of T.J. Watt because I don't like him. I'm getting rid of T.J. Watt because
you want Warren
costs a lot of money.
You want Warren to stay here and suffer, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
You want TJ to stay here and suffer just so you can say TJ's a one-hand guy.
He's a one-hand guy.
Yeah, so he can just be miserable here for the rest of his
life. Not going to be miserable. As far as you and Wax is concerned, we're getting ready to have the Wizard of Oz come.
Nobody said that. We already said you got to take a step back to take 2 steps forward.
There you go. You
just can't stand still for 4 or 5 years.
Bottom line is y'all niggas is jumping the gun. And I've been saying that to you for a while. By the time you got over there and you start thinking like him, I was like, holy shit.
That man knows what he's talking about.
No.
Right? That's what, like, because eventually, doing the same thing over and over again every year and expecting different results is insane.
So
I got
you would have just wanted to run it back again next year with the same
quarterback?
No, I would have rebuilt just like we're talking now.
But just
who we would have kept. Who we
with Tomlin.
Yes.
But he hasn't done that in how many years? He hasn't rebuilt and tried to fix some of the problems, the internal problems that we've had for over 8 years.
I got you, Wax, but before we get rid of him, I'd have rather tried to rebuild.
I got you. I mean, but like, do you really got me? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I don't have to agree with you. I'm not going to agree if I don't believe in it.
But like, at least
put it into consideration.
Like, no, just spit some facts that actually add up to I got you, but we should do this. Like,
When I
tell
say
me-
I got you, I'm respecting your opinion on how you feel about the scenario.
Okay.
As far as that's concerned, I still feel the way that I do, and I'm standing 10 on it.
I understand that, but like if you are standing 10 on it, you're standing for getting bounced out the playoffs first round every year.
I'm glad you can see the future, because if you can
I mean,
see
that's
that,
just the past.
I'm getting ready, okay,
Exactly.
and you're including yourself.
It's the
If y'all
truth.
two can see that much, who we getting and what's he gonna do?
All right, there's a few candidates that they got. They got a dude named Chris Shula.
Okay.
He's defensive coordinator for the Rams. They're talking to Brian Flores, which I would love Brian Flores as a coach.
Who's he coached?
He coached in Miami. He's the member.
Yeah, we talked
He
about
coached in
that.
Miami.
We
Then
talked
he's the
about that.
He was here for a year.
I would be all right with that. That's probably the only pick, because I have to now. I have to now.
You kind of got to be all right with whoever, at least until they show us that they ain't gonna be able to do it.
Right, but I'm just saying. I mean, you're speaking that, and that's what I'm speaking the whole time. Unless they show us they can't do it.
Right, and Tomlin showed us he couldn't do it anymore.
All right. I hope you're right.
I think where we really went wrong as an organization was when Ben hurt his arm that year, right? Mm-hmm. And then they traded for Minkah Fitzpatrick. They traded a first-round pick for Minkah Fitzpatrick that year. I think that was, in retrospect, that was a terrible decision. I think that when they went and got Minkah Fitzpatrick that year, I think that kind of hurt us because we had to get rid of that first-round pick for the next year. If they would have just right then committed to, all right, Ben's not here. It's okay if we don't win. It's okay if we don't go such and such for 1 year. You could have took that draft pick, and there was some dogs in that draft. There was Jalen Hurts. There was Jordan Love, Herbert. There was some quarterbacks that we could have picked in that draft that we weren't able to because we gave up that pick for Minkah. And then now Minka's not even here. And they trade Minkah for an older, more expensive guy that was supposed to play cornerback, and ended up just playing safety anyway. And he did okay at safety, but like I said, it was they didn't use their foresight. They were just worried about today. And you can't do that as an organization. You have to worry about tomorrow.
I understand that.
And they just didn't do that. They just kept, all right, let's put these put these Band-Aids over the stab wound, as Wax always say, and hope that it doesn't get infected. And it just kept getting gangrenous. It just got gangrenous.
Green ooze oozing out of that
starting
bad
to smell
boy.
like almonds.
But yeah, fellas, I mean, I guess it's to be determined on what's going to happen. I mean, we all got our way of feeling and thinking. I mean, what can I say, fellas?
Yeah, and our opinion is not law. It's exactly that, our opinion.
Right. So, and like I said again, shout out Coach Tomlin, man. You represented the city well. You were a classy individual. I never take that away from you. You did win the Super Bowl. I know people try to say that it was cowards guys, but fuck that. You still gotta coach the guys.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you did coach us to a Super Bowl and to another one. So I'll never take that away. But like I said, sometimes you just need a fresh start. And I think Tomlin will do well wherever he goes.
He's gonna ball out wherever he goes because
Right.
like he's just that kind of guy. But like when you're stuck in the situation and it just gets dormant, it was probably better that he stepped down.
Right. And that's for life in general.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like we can't be afraid of change sometimes. Sometimes change is scary,
Necessary.
but it's necessary. You know what I mean?
I got you. So with that being said, it's almost like this.
Right.
They always say good things must come to an end. So I guess that's what they mean.
Right.
So with that being said, fellas, guess that means we'll be back, Wax, next week. Same time, though. Mm-hmm. Same location. Different material. Peace.
Peace.
Shut